Hey there, all my legacy brothers and sisters out there. I'm the Reinaas, aka Filthy O'Blaze. You wanted to see what's in my bag, so let's go do it. I'm not going to get as in depth as I did for my in my bag for the Legacy Legion contest, because come on, we all pretty much know what these things do. So let's just dig into it. We'll get into my high-speed drivers right away. Got a 171 Pinnacle Nemesis. I picked this guy up from Alex and Lauren down at Ledgestone this year. I love this for a lot of my real control shots and Annie flips. Really great, beautiful. Starting into my one of many coffinators. I've got a 152 Skyline Recon. This guy is one of my huge bombs. You know exactly what these bad boys do. It's been getting downrange for me hard a lot lately. Really controllable, really nice. Another Skyline, one of the 40th anniversary Wintertime Open Skyline Outlaws that came out last winter. Been killing it for me. This is my go-to max distance. I can crush this guy. I mean, it's a Skyline. It's a Skylaw. We all know what's up. Another coffinator, and arguably my favorite one, is my Skyline Rampage. If I've got all the room in the world out there to get something downrange, I know that I can put a pretty heavy amount of Annie on this, let it do all the work and finish to the left real hard. And oh god, that stamp. So this is another coffinator of mine. If you can't tell, I've got a couple. Next is my black on black, the Murder Machine, my 167 Special Blend Black Sparkle. This guy is another one of my max distance. If I've got a lot of room to just get something out there in shape, is what I'm going for. Next is my Icon Outlaw, another lighter one, 168, with Mr. Goodpasture's signature on there, because I got to meet him down at Ledgestone this year, and I felt amiss if I didn't take something home with his name on it for some good luck. And it's been doing well for me ever since. It did great for me before, and now it's doing spectacular with Charlie's luck on it. I pulled this guy out for my flick if I need something big range, but I know that I'm not going to be able to shape out an Annie on it. I'll reach for this guy. Does a lot of work for me. Next, I have a 167 Icon Cannon from Murder Mike and the Legacy Legion. This is one that I won from the in the bag contest that I did for them. I pulled this guy out when I have a lot more open shots, so it doesn't see the light of day as much up here in Upper Michigan, because most of our courses are really heavily wooded. But when I got down to like Ledgestone this year, this guy came out a lot and did a lot of work for me. Love this disc. Speaking of cannons, I've got a Coffinator Cross 162 Icon Cannon. This guy is amazing as well. I find it to be a little more gummy than a lot of the other Icon cannons that I've put in hand, and hopefully it's gonna hold up in the winter. I don't know yet. I haven't got it out. I'm going out tomorrow for the first time since I messed up my shoulder. My physical therapist says that I should finally, so we'll see what this guy will do. Still kind of experimental, but it's a coffinator, so I love it. Hey, look, another coffinator. This is a 164 Icon Rampage. This guy is flippy as all get out. I use this a lot for my flicks, and if I just feel squirrely and want to try and get something downrange real heavy, but I know it's going to finish even it finished harder than my Skyline, I go for this guy. Brings us into the last of my my high speeds, a max weight Icon Aftermath, reppin' Team Rise Above. You know, since made the team this year, I had to work a few more of the Rise Above stamps into my bag, which I have been pushing a lot of my bag to Coffinator and Rise Above. This is no exception. For me, with my arm speed, this is my meat hook. If I need something to go all to the left, this is what I'm reaching for. Into my fairway drivers. Start with, oh boy, guy I just picked up recently from Terrell Hathcock, is my Icon Mongoose, which I know some of you are going to give me hell for bagging it, but like I said, you know, it's the Joker. You can't bag, you can't not bag him. You can't just put him on the wall. And I got it out a couple times before I screwed up my shoulder in September, and it does everything I want a Mongoose to do. This thing is great. Next is, I've got my winter loadout right now. So in my winter loadout, I bag Pinnacle Patriot that's been dyed green and is a little lighter. This is a 167 because if I've got, you know, those layers on, my arm speed reduces a little bit. And the green one is a lot easier to find than my normal Coffinator Cross that I bag in the summertime, because I'm not throwing wet discs in the winter. I'm crazy, but I'm not stupid. So this is my winter Patriot. This is my summer Patriot. Next, I have a Coffinator Pinnacle 175 Phenom with the Team Rise Above stamp in the back. This guy is outstanding. I love it a lot. During the summer, I bag a Coffinator Icon, and they both do exactly what, you know, I want my Phenoms to do. They're understable enough that I can get them to turn, but I know that I can drop a hyzer on it and it'll actually get the shape out some. So winter, summer, always got to have a Phenom in there, and both of them are Coffinators. Let's see, moving on to my rivals. I've got my Pinnacle rival in the, I call this more gunmetal. I don't know, it's not green gunmetal. That's always confusing me with gunmetal. But I got my 174 Pinnacle. This is my go-to rival. Straight as a damn arrow, all sorts of control. I love this disc, and it just looks so damn hot. It's one of the few things that I'm going to have a hard time parting with into getting a Team Rise Above or a Coffinator into. I've got a 167 Pinnacle rival. Again, this one's for my flick, because my flick isn't as strong as my, you know, my normal throw. So I disc down a little bit for it, and it's got out a couple times before I got injured and has done great work with me. Responded really, really well. I like how this guy finishes out. Very happy to have a Pinnacle rival in my bag with the Coffinator stamp. Next, oh god, this thing is just too sex. This is my Legend, the gun metal, which I never understood that because it's fucking green to me, but 173 Legend Enemy with the Rise Above stamp. This thing is outstandingly amazing. I can get this to go as straight as I need it to, but it's an enemy, and so, you know, I'm gonna get that great finish out of it. Been enjoying this disc a lot, so mad love to Collins out there for letting me get this guy off of him. I'm sure it was hard to part with. I wouldn't have. Next, I have another enemy that I keep solely for my flicks, because you know, the two are a little bit different for me. This guy is a little bit heavier than I normally have for my flicks, but with it being the Icon plastic, it's just a little bit more stable, I feel. And with how my flick works, I need that little extra bit of stability, and this has been doing great work for me too. Got this guy off from Charlie. Let's see, coming down to the end. Ooh, this might be my favorite Coffinator. My 175 Pinnacle Fighter. This thing is so sexy. That Silver Surfer. You know, it's a fighter. It does exactly what you think it's going to do. It's the meatiest freaking, it's the meatiest of all meat hooks of a fairway driver that I've ever had or ever seen, and I absolutely adore it. And last, I keep my driver area. This is my Rise Above Gravity closer that I keep in for just driving. This is for purely driving. I love the closer off the tee so much. It is my go-to. That and the Hunter are my go-to driving putters, and since I wanted to maintain that stability and not be hitting so many trees as I do like with my upshot so much, I keep one solely for driving, and I got that just great, that graffiti rise above stamp off of it. Again, mad love to Collins for this guy. So that's the bottom of the bag. Moving up top, I've got a Pinnacle gauge from Ryan and the Team Red Eye boys. It's one of the few things that I will be keeping in here no matter what, even with me trying to go mostly rise above or Coffinator. I love this thing so much. It is everything that I need for an understable mid. Outstanding disc. In the winter, since they don't have it in Gravity yet, I am going back to the Ghost in Gravity for the winter, for my middle of the ground mid ranges. In the summer, I am bagging a Glow Vandal, but I left one of my Vandals that I personally had for the Confidence Clashes in the cold, and just didn't set well with me how it took to the frost. So I'm putting this guy and my other Vandals away for the winter until they release a Gravity, and going to be running a Ghost for the winter. And of course, got to rep Team Rise Above. I got that Legend Pursuit with the Team Rise Above stamp on it, and all that beautiful swirly pinkness that I love so much. It's everything that all the freaking pursuits are. This is the overstable mid that I've been waiting for so long. It's holding up well with the cold, and I know this is going to be doing a lot of work for me through the winter. Going into my putters for my approaching and sometimes off the tee, I have a Gravity Hunter. In the summer, I have a whiteout Coffinator Icon Hunter. In the winter, I rock Gravity as much as possible. So winter, summer, Hunters. Always gotta have Hunter. Always gotta have a Hunter. I have a clone of the other closer that I have, but this guy is just for approaching and for my like hyzer putts if I'm like stuck behind a tree or something. In the summer, I've been rocking one of the EX experimental blends that I got earlier this year, and I love the way these guys fly. I love how it's been holding it. It deals in the heat, and even the wet it did good, but it stiffens up a little more than the Gravity does in the winter. So winter, summer, closers, more closers. In the summer, I have a Icon closer too in the bag. That's for my driving off the tee, and of course it's another Coffinator, because if you haven't noticed, I've got a thing for the Coffinator stuff. And finally, my putting putters. What brought me into Legacy, the Prowler. I've got two clones in yellow from Collins again with those double stamp owls from the Rise Above logo. These things are amazing. I've got to throw them in my practice basket a bunch, and I love them so much. In the summer, I am rocking a pair of black Icons, again, from Charlie, because, he is a badass dude, and I like supporting him and keeping him out on the road, representing us out there on the tour. So, summer, winter, Prowlers. Gotta have my some Prowlers. Always gotta have Prowlers. To the sides, I have my rolling discs. I still have my first run Lemonade on Pink Mongoose with the Rico on the back, which Steve has got to me finally and has confirmed this was once in his bag, and now it's my roller. for things that I can that have a shorter fairway to drop it down onto. I go with this one. For fairways that I've got a little bit more room on and I can get it more down range before it needs to drop down, I run a Nemesis, Legend Nemesis, Icon Mongoose rollers. And then on the other side, over here, I've got my overheads, which I have a Phenom. I have an Icon Phenom, which is, I don't know, this may or may not be hanging out in the bag for a while. This guy's getting a little more beat in than I normally keep my overhead Phenom for. But for my thumber and my tomahawk, the Phenom is my go-to. I just know always how it's gonna get one turn in, crash down, and I can get this guy to get a good skip up. I love throwing overhead, and the Phenom is my go-to. My scramble, though, if I am locked down and just am in like the worst of the worst, thicket, I reach for my Icon Enemy. I know this guy will stand up straight through a lot of real, smaller branches and whatnot, and will just break through. So if I have got like an ultimate scramble and just a poke and a prey, I'm generally grabbing this guy and throwing it with a wing and a prayer. So there it is, except for the bag itself, which is an Upper Park, that bad boy that I know so many of us have, and I love it. It's everything that I want, everything that I need. Got all the different storage on it. Besides that, I got my accoutrements. I got my Coffinator cross keychain on there. I've got my one Legacy bottle. I got the other Legacy bottle. I've got my Team Red Eye pin. And just because I know he's Latitude, but because he came up here through a great clinic and really brought my putting game into the next level, and it's saved my ass a lot this summer. I'm also rocking the Yoda Johnny McRae pin because Johnny's a great dude, and one of my friends up here, Mark Nowicki, who is an outstanding guy, is the one that actually designed this logo. So I got to represent some local love on that, and for Johnny just being a cool dude anyhow. And then I've got all sorts of other randomness up here. I've got my life tag, I've got my caregiver tag, I've got my Team Red Eye towel holder, which the towel's out in the truck now that I think of it. But there it is. I'm the Reinaas, aka Filthy O'Blaze. That was a bunch of plastic. What do you got? See you around, guys.